These two Google Sheets by Scarlet Quiver and Winter are easily the handiest community crafted Valheim tools I have ever seen. In this video, I will use Winter's building, comfort, and security spreadsheet to guide us to the perfect comfort room for every Valheim biome. But first, to get rested, you need to meet 3 criteria. 1. Have no hostile enemies nearby. 2. Be under the fire effect applied by a nearby fire source. And 3. Neither be wet or burning. With these conditions met, have a seat and the resting effect icon will appear in the top right of your screen with a comfort value of 1, and after 20 uninterrupted seconds, the buff will be applied for 8 minutes. If at any point one of those criterion are violated, the 20-second timer will be reset. For each additional increase in the comfort number, another minute will be added to the duration of your rested buff. The first thing you can do to increase comfort is by adding a roof above your head to the 3 previous criteria to increase the duration of the buff to 10 minutes, considering the +2 comfort shelter provides. With shelter applied, you will no longer need to be seated for the 20-second timer to begin. Shelter can be provided by a roof of your own making or from the environment around you. To increase this number even further, add furniture nearby your fire source, and starting with the Meadows, a max comfort of 5 can be achieved. In addition to a campfire following the acquisition of wood and deer hide, a bed and rug can be crafted and placed, resulting in a 12-minute rested buff. Beds and rugs are the first of 9 furniture categories that currently exist in Valheim. As you progress the game, we will unlock recipes for the other 7 categories, but also find improvements to furniture within those categories to replace them for higher comfort providing versions, but I'll explain those in more detail shortly. While beds contribute comfort, they also provide another great feature in allowing us to skip the dangerous evenings with slumber. Further, they allow us to circumvent the 20-second waiting period of resting, as when awakening from sleep, your character will automatically have the rested buff of the duration corresponding to the comfort of the room you have slept in. It's worth noting that for the furniture to contribute towards your total comfort, the item must be within 10 meters of the player when either resting or sleeping. What's interesting is that this 10-meter distance applies in 3 dimensions, and furniture both above and below the player will continue to contribute, so you're not restricted to a single floor in designing your comfort room. Before moving on, let's recap the Meadows optimal comfort room by checking in with Winter's spreadsheet. Fortunately, we are spot on with our bed, campfire, and deer rug, but not the maypole. Don't worry about that for now. We will cover seasonal items a bit later. As we transition into the Black Forest, the maximum comfort level is increased to 9 with the addition of recipes for 4 new banners, a chair, and table, primarily due to the introduction of fine wood from birch trees, now accessible after crafting a bronze axe. Winter's spreadsheet makes it easy for us to identify these new furniture pieces per biome by highlighting those in bold in each of the biome-specific tabs. Starting with the banners, 4 of the game's total 11 will become craftable in this biome, and when placed will contribute +1 to your comfort level. It's worth noting that making each of the banners will not stack their comfort atop each other, and therefore only 1 is necessary. I will explain this mechanic in detail very shortly. Second and third in the chair and table, which will contribute an additional 2 and 1 comfort respectively. Before moving on to the swamp, it is worth noting that like with the Meadows, a higher comfort is possible, but now with 2 potential seasonal items. However, for most players, 9 comfort will be your max. To recap once more, our max comfort room will consist of a campfire, bed, fine wood chair, table, deer rug, and any one of the available banners. Once again, the game's next biome enables another jump in comfort with a new max of 12, mostly accredited to the smelting of iron for the crafting of nails and the stone cutter. To achieve max swamp comfort, you'll need to do 3 things. 1. Replace your campfire with a stone hearth for 1 additional comfort enabled by the stone cutter. 2. Toss your fine wood chair in favor of the raven throne, providing +3 comfort compared to the fine wood's 2. And third, furnish your comfort room with an armor stand to achieve a max comfort of 12. To summarize, max swamp comfort consists of a hearth, bed, raven throne, table, any banner, rug, and finally an armor stand. At this stage, if you are getting overwhelmed by the furniture pieces to craft, worry not. Winter's sheet carries each of the items' crafting recipes and the crafting station required to build them. Upon climbing into the mountains, we achieve a single increase to our comfort to 13, uncovering the recipe for the dragon bed through the acquisition of wolf pelts. Like we did in the swamp, we can replace old furniture with the new, and in this case, the standard wooden bed with the dragon. At this point, you have likely become curious of the furniture category labels in Winter's spreadsheet, and it's worth covering the overlapping nature of the categories and their effect on comfort. In brief, there are 9 categories of furniture that contribute towards comfort in fires, beds, rugs, banners, chairs, tables, armor stands, and 2 more as we will uncover in the Plains and Ashlands. In each of these categories, there is a max comfort that can be achieved as shown on screen, and the comfort taken for your bonus will be the highest comfort providing item in your vicinity for that category. To illustrate, both the campfire and hearth fall within the fire source comfort categories, with the campfire providing 1 and hearth providing 2. Having both in your comfort area will not combine for +3, but rather the higher taking precedence, yielding +2 comfort. The same principles will apply for each of the 8 other categories. With only a single addition from the swamp, max comfort in the mountains will consist of the hearth, dragon bed, raven or stone thrones, table, any banner, rug, and armor stand. Diving into the plains and discovering tar grants us upgrade options to our tables and one of the coolest items in the game in the hot tub. Rather than replacing an existing structure, the hot tub falls in its own comfort category and can be added without replacing any other item to increase max comfort to 16. The hot tub is unique in that for it to contribute to total comfort, wood must be placed within it, otherwise its effect will be lost. Further, sitting in the hot tub is the only exception where you can gain the rested buff while under the wet status. To conclude the plains, major changes must be made to our max comfort room, now consisting of the hearth, dragon bed, raven or stone thrones, round or long heavy table, any banner, rug, the armor stand, and the newly added hot tub. Surprisingly, as we head into the Mistlands, while we did receive new furniture items, not a single item allows us to raise our comfort level, despite this being the hardest hitting biome to our stamina levels. For this reason, the top tier Mistlands comfort room matches that of the plains. Charging into the Ashland wasteland gives us one more comfort increasing item. Like the plains though, does not replace any of our existing furniture, but adds the 9th category of comfort items in the lava lantern. With the lava lantern crafted, you will have achieved a max comfort of 17, resulting in a rested buff duration of 24 minutes, which is the max possible value, of course, not considering the seasonal items we mentioned earlier. But before covering those, you can recap the optimal comfort furniture setups quickly by navigating to the Ashlands tier tab, but to summarize, you will need a hearth, dragon bed, any one of the 8 rugs, one of the raven, stone, black marble, or bone thrones, the round or long heavy table, one of the 8 banners, an armor stand, the hot tub, and the lava lantern. However, if the Christmas event is active, the Yule tree can be added to Black Forest biome and beyond comfort rooms, crafted with wood and fir cones, and placed for an additional +1 comfort. Once crafted, however, the Yule tree will remain throughout the year, but if broken, can't be recrafted until the subsequent Christmas event, usually occurring from December to January. Secondly, the maypole, while it can occur rarely in nature, usually requires the midsummer event to enable crafting with wood, dandelion, and thistle for another +1 comfort, making typically only accessible for Black Forest and beyond comfort room. Like the Yule tree before it, once crafted, the maypole will remain throughout the year if undisturbed, but again cannot be replaced if destroyed until the following June or July, with a small exception. As I alluded to, maples have a small chance to occur naturally in any given world's meadows, and if you're lucky to find one, you can build your comfort room around them to gain the additional comfort outside of the seasonal event. When combining both the Yule tree and maypole to our perfect room, a max comfort of 19 and a rested buff duration of 26 minutes can be achieved. And while maypoles are rare, they are far from the rarest item in Valheim, but you can find out what is in this video right here. And don't miss out on Scarlet Quiver and Winter's Google Documents, which I have linked in the video description below, and let me know how much you appreciate them in the comments.